Hey, my name is Badass Banny and welcome to my channel. If you're an ace, AMAC, and sex human trafficking survivor, you're in the right place. And it won't cost you a penny to like and subscribe and to share worldwide. And please leave a comment down below on the video. Today we're going to story tell, and I'm going to name this person Eli and Carey. And Eli and Carey are childhood friends from the 70s and 80s. And their house, their mom and dad were home most of the time, and it seemed like all the neighborhood kids would go and kick it at Eli and Carey's house. And I got to know other people from school, other kids, and got to socialize a bit, talking to other girls and stuff. And Eli, he didn't really talk much. He was tall, he had freckles, brown hair, curly hair, and just kind of slumped over and walked, and he was in a grade above me, and his sister Carey was in the same grade. And now I found out later about Eli and Carey's parents, and they were in a notorious motorcycle gang. Their parents were. The father was blind, and the mother was the one who took care of the mouse. They call them mouse women. Those are like the throwaway in these notorious biker gangs in California and throughout the nation, United States. And there was porn, sex trafficking, you name it. Anything ugly and evil that you can think of has been done with notorious motorcycle gangs. And so as I was growing up, I got in recovery and everything, and I didn't talk with Eli until about 7 or 8 years ago, and we were talking about Sons of Anarchy, and he's passed away, by the way. He died. And I found out too that he named one of his daughters after me, by my dead name he had. And so we got to chit-chatting about Sons of Anarchy, and I told him, for some reason, I just started sharing to him about how my mom prostituted herself with the notorious gang, motorcycle gang, in her 20s, took me with her. And so we were talking about that. We were talking about the violence and physical violence and the sexual violence and just constant stress and anxiety. And he was a kid, and he saw a lot of guns and things that you saw on the Sons of Anarchy. And I'm younger than him, and I would tell him, like, my older brother and I, George, we would be in a bathroom, locked bathroom, while there's all these parties going on out in the house. We're talking biker parties, anything and everything, and guns and violence. My brother can remember that and has told me things and remembers. And so the same thing with Eli and Carey. And I started talking with Eli, and he ended up committing suicide. And that really hurt to hear, because we had so much in common and been through. It was the first time I've ever got to talk to somebody that truly understood what I went through from I'm thinking about baby toddler age until, up to when I was 7 years old and went to school for the first time in second grade. I mean, consistently, you know. And so we were talking on Facebook, and we were talking on the phone, and he had moved to Idaho, and so his sister and I were talking too, and I got to know her more as an adult. And this is how God works in my life. And we saw each other at like Home Depot, and we're like, oh my God, and then I started talking to her, because that's where I was in my recovery and healing, about, putting all these EMDR puzzle pieces and flashbacks together, and making, telling the truth about what happened. And then that's when Carey told me that there's mouse people. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because her mom took care of the mouse people, the women who prostituted themselves, and I'm sure there were men, and took care of the kids. Everybody had a role, and my therapist at the time didn't want me to investigate all that because of triggers. So, I'm telling my story as for Eli as well, and his sister, because they told me their stories, and they're very similar to my brother and I. And the thing is that Eli and Carey got to stay together as siblings. My brother went with my dad, and I went with my mom. And my brother was very, very physically abusive. And, I mean, I was scared of him. And one time, him and his friend, I hid underneath my dad's house porch, and I can hear them about what they wanted to do, to hurt me. And, my brother was intense, and we got into boxing fights. We got into a lot of, bloody noses, and just torturing each other physically. And then I did that to my little brother, Jeremiah. And in recovery, I apologized to him so much, because I felt so bad. Like I put socks on my hands, like maybe 4 of them, and then I put some on his hands, and then we would box. But then I actually, I'm about 8 years older than my brother, and so I was tough on him. One time I'll talk about my brother another time, but yeah, I was really tough on him. And I know that happens in families when there's physical abuse and sexual abuse and so forth. So, my little brother's forgiven me, but, we don't see each other, we don't talk. And I would love to get to know him, and I'm leaving the door open like that for him. Just like that, because, everything that's going on is by my mom's hand to separate us through all the years, and I can talk about that when I do a Jeremiah video. But Eli and Carey, I still talk with Carey time to time, and I've been trying to write my story 3 times, gotten taken advantage of, lost a lot of money, because I need help putting my book together, and the chapters, and all these things, and dealing with my son and his everyday mental health crises. I had to deal with that first. So, this book is, and my stories are for people like Eli and Carey. I'm trying not to say their names. So, God bless his spirit. That could easily be me or my brother. What are you going to do to take care of yourself today?